So this is a reading for those of you that have been asking, should I stay or should I go now? There is a big sunk cost fallacy here going on. I see that some of you just recently got out of a relationship or were enlightened upon some kind of either it's an on and off situation with the Tower here. You were enlightened upon something that has now changed your perception of this person forever, or even your perception of yourself. You could have learned something about yourself that you're like, oh my God. Like, I'm serious. This could be like, you realize that you aren't the gender you want to be. You realize that this is not actually what you want. You realize that you actually hate your life, or you hate being with this person. Like, there's something here that's going to be a life-altering epiphany, or we have something that is circumstantial, life-altering circumstances. Maybe some of you were even in some kind of circumstance, like a car crash or something, and then you realize this partner was not there for you, or how you thought they were did not follow up with how they acted, okay? Some of you, it is a breakup, or on and off, like I said here. And the thing with the Tower is, it's shocking. We're also filming this within a storm. Lots of lightning, lots of shocks. I feel like there's something here that was just so unexpected. And right now, when I'm recording this, it's the 4th of July, Uranus, the planet of unconventionality, things being unexpected. Actually, Uranus, it's the last planet that we have discovered so far. And guess what? We actually just recently discovered that it has a whole other moon. You know, there's constantly things being discovered about Uranus that we don't know. And it's combined right now, today, in the sky at the same point as Mars, which is the planet of warfare, drive, lust, ambition. It has to do with action, energy, masculinity, and they're in the sky together. So this may have to do with a male in your life, or maybe this is your own energy if you are a male as well, or you identify with this masculine energy, no matter your gender. There is a shaking up of this energy going on, and that may be part of the cause here. So I'd look where that's taking place in your astrological chart. I really feel like there is this whole thing about spilled milk, and you are having a very tough time getting over this disappointment. Namely, the disappointment in the other person, but I would like you to also look at the disappointment within yourself, because oftentimes when we are disappointed with somebody else, there are behaviors that we did that we are not too happy about, that we are projecting onto others. So don't just make this it's your fault. Look at where you are disappointed in yourself and how you behaved. And it doesn't have to be that you did something bad to this person, but maybe you didn't stand up for your worth. Maybe you didn't have a deep sense of self or boundary that you stuck by. Maybe you didn't enforce those properly. Maybe you weren't really clear with what you wanted with this person. Maybe you were still figuring it out, but when you did, you didn't say anything, or you haven't said anything yet here. And it's worrying about losing this and the good aspects of it, or having lost the good aspects of it, that is really sitting with you very deeply here, because you're putting a lot of value on this situation, this thing, this person, and what it adds to your life, but you are not looking at the areas where it is draining you, because we have the decay card here. So this little skeleton king here is chained up. He's decayed to the point where he's just bones. He's dust and bones here. And the thing is, he's sitting in a city, and this is like an Olympian. It's from the Lore Olympus deck here, and I actually haven't read Lore Olympus yet, but he has a crown on his head. He's got red glowing eyes. He actually looks like a boss, a mob boss kind of thing here. And it looks like he's trapped in this pit, but there is a city beneath him, and it looks like people don't want him to move. This guy looks pretty powerful to me. This guy looks like he could easily break through these chains, in my opinion. He might not have a lot of muscle on him because he's bones, but like, this to me is more showing me a choice of decay. We also have melancholia here, which talks about like depression. There is a very big depressed energy coming through here. And I think if you're honest with yourself, this relationship, this situation, this person, your life circumstances that you are in right now have not been making you happy for a long time. And it is not because of that person. It is not because of that relationship. Some of it is, but deep down at the core of it, it has to do with you. It has to do with you not being happy with yourself. We can even see that here in how you're talking to yourself and how you're treating yourself. To me, it looks like you've invested into this relationship, maybe even monetarily, time, energy, but you are valuing the investment that you put into it more than your own happiness and your own peace and your own well-being, which is cueing me in here. We're not loving ourselves enough at all. We also have the Six of Cups in reverse. So this is a situation where you thought this was going to be your soulmate, you were going to marry this person, or it was going to be a job situation that you were in for a long time. This is your path. This is who you are. This is you knowing who you are, but then going complete flip-flop and not knowing that, or realizing what you were looking at was an illusion. It wasn't the truth. It was a projection maybe of what you wish this person was or what you wish you were, but not the reality. It's more of an illusion. And realizing that your love for this person, relationship, situation, or yourself was your love of the illusion, not of the reality or the real person. And it just feels like reality set in a little bit too hard. And if you're really being real with yourself, you're not being real with yourself. This is the ingenuity card. And I feel like this is talking about, like, I know it's talking about ingenuity, like, you know, like, well, maybe you don't know, like innovation, coming up with new ideas, like genius ideas, having, and I know that's what this card means. I'm actually getting it as ingenuine. That's not what this card is. That's how I am receiving it from Spirit, is you're not being real with yourself. You're not being real with yourself about where the future of this situation will go, or the future of your own life path will go if you continue to walk down the same path, because you know you're not happy in this relationship or situation. Even if you've already broken out of it, or they've broken up with you, even if it felt like you were powerless or it wasn't your choice, it was not adding to your happiness, and it was draining you, and it was not actually what you wanted. And this may have come into your life to help you realize what you do want. There are good things about this path or this person or this relationship here that have taught you things that you do love, that you do want. We oftentimes learn what we are wanting by finding out what it is that we don't like. You know, it's like eating something at a buffet and you're like, ugh. You don't have to go back and keep getting that same thing. You can choose something different. This is passion. This is aligning you with your purpose, with your soulmate, with your path, with what you want to be, with the true identity within you. This is about love and acceptance, even though it doesn't feel that way. This feels to me like you are in a state of deep depression or deep self-reflection, and it just feels like you're lost. Like the Hermit card is about a card of going within, spending time alone. A lot of you are self-isolating, but I don't usually get this feeling with this card, because the Hermit is about like finding out things within yourself, and maybe you have, but I feel like this is more of a feeling of feeling lost. Like you've lost your tether, you've lost your anchor, and maybe it was this person or your old identity, and now you feel like you're disassociating. You don't know where you're supposed to go anymore. The path that you had carved out for yourself is now all distorted. You don't know how to look at things anymore. There is no stability and no ground and no foundation anymore. It literally was ripped out from under you, and you're feeling like you have to start over or start fresh, or there's no way to keep this thing going if you are still in it. It just feels disingenuous to yourself. It feels like you are either trying to keep things going for those of you that are still in that situation, or trying to keep this old lie of who you are alive. And it just feels like you're lost, because where do you even go from here? And I think that's why you're upon this reading, because we will get to some guidance here in a second, but I just want to get to where you're at. And kind of shine a light so you can see, because the Hermit here is about the light of knowledge, of inner knowing, of knowing that you're going to be okay at the end of the day. If you're still alive and here today, you're going to make it. You're going to be okay. You're going to be able to work through this and get to the other side. There is kind of this plutonic process that's going on with you right now, which is Pluto is the planet of death, rebirth, and transformation. And oftentimes when we hit rock bottom, that's when we are able to fly, to come up and to make our way up in the proper way. It is a chance to reset. The slate is clear. There's nowhere to go but up from here. And that can be kind of, you know, once you've kind of taken care of the bruises of falling down to the bottom and you've healed that and you've worked your way back up, it gets easier and easier as you go. So you're kind of in a good spot for that. Like, things are not going to get harder from here, even if they feel like they're hard. You can get out of this situation. You can get out of this depression. You can get to a point in your life where you have passion again, where you have love, where you have fulfillment, where you are able to find who you truly are and accept and love that no matter what, even if the people around you don't accept that, you know? And maybe that's why some of these things are crashing down. I do see two parental figures here, and I don't always get that. Maybe a grand parental figure as well, or different from this. I just feel like it's showing me a couple of some sort, or older people in your life that are very genuinely concerned for you and your well-being right now. And I'm finding this to be something that you're trying to avoid. You're trying to avoid them. You're trying to avoid questions because it would require vulnerability, and you are in a very vulnerable state right now. You're very tender-hearted. We have this little kitty here. There's a little heart, and it says tender at the bottom. We're tender-hearted here. Like, we're a sweetie. We're a cutie patootie, and, you know, you need a little self-care here. You know, indulge a little bit. We got persnickety, you know, and then we have privacy, please, right under that. Like, you do not want to be bothered with. And some of your parental figures or these older figures in your life may be a little too nosy right now, and they assume if you aren't answering, then you must be up to no good, kind of thing. And that's not true, or they think there's something incredibly wrong, and they can sense something that is off. But, like, you need your own time and your own space, and if you need to set boundaries for while you're healing, you need to do that, and you don't owe it to anyone. But I would like you to know that it is out of concern and great love for you, because they notice that you are not doing okay, and they want to make sure that you are not doing anything to hurt yourself, to harm yourself, that they are there for you, that they are asking questions. They don't want you to feel like you have to go through something alone, even if this is something that you feel like you need to go through alone and process. And with the Four of Swords here, one of the biggest advices from Spirit right now is don't distract. Don't distract or act to distract. This is about sitting with your feelings, seeing what comes up, seeing what you're feeling in your body, and letting yourself feel them as they come up. And maybe you need a place that is more private without the prying eyes here, whether it's your bedroom or your car or a park that you go to that is private. You need to have a private area so you don't have roommates up in your business, anyone else, so you can feel that you can truly let go and express that emotion. And there is no shame in emotion, but maybe these people have shamed you for your emotions in the past, or maybe they make it about them or their emotions, or there's just something that's a little complicated there that Maybe you don't want to share your emotions with them for a reason. If that's the case, it could be roommates or people you live with. Maybe it's not your parents, but workers, whatever, or people, co-workers, not employees. People, maybe it is employees, people you work around. It could be that too. Like, just get to a place where you can be private. You can work through these emotions on your own. Don't be on your phone all the time. Don't be reading all the time. Take time to go to therapy, sure, but then take time to process emotion on your own. You do not have enough time right now, which this is also part of the depression, is you're not allowing the emotions out. You are pushing them down, and thus they stay down, and you're going to keep attracting from that place if you push those energies and those emotions down. You have to let it come out. You have to let yourself release the trauma, release the hurt, release the pain, because there's nothing wrong with feeling that. There's nothing wrong with letting that out. And I know it's really hard. I'm a person who doesn't like to cry in front of people. I do not like to cry in front of people at all. And I still really won't, unless they're like one of my trusted few people, you know. Have to do to get that out of your system, to let that go, to let that person go, kind of thing. And with the High Priestess here, it's like you have to be able to feel in order to use your intuition properly. And that's part of the reason you feel so lost. When you don't let yourself feel these feelings or go through what is causing them, such as your fears, the negative beliefs, the negative self-perceptions that you have of yourself, or even like internalizing what this situation says about you. Like, what are we internalizing here? Because we have Temperance, and there's like this whole like good bad fallacy going on. Like, if you were wrong, if they were wrong, if it is just to do with your identity or job or something like that, like, am I wrong, am I right? There's a lot of confusion there, but you can't intuitively know what's going on until you work through these things and see what's feeding them. But you can't do that unless it's quiet. Like, nighttime might be your best ally right now to work through these things, because it's understandable that it might not be feasible for you to do during the day. Maybe you have a very demanding job, and even though these things might be coming up during that time, just make sure you make time at the end of the day, at the night or something like that, to take care of that, to allow yourself to feel, and to not get upset at yourself for feeling angry, for feeling sad, for getting mad at people. Even if you feel violent sometimes because you're so angry, like, don't push that down. Now, don't go do violence against anybody. That's not what I'm saying here. But if you are shaming yourself for feeling that way, or feeling upset, or feeling angry, that's not okay. I'm not encouraging you to hurt yourself or other people in any way, shape, or form, but we need to find a healthy outlet for that, because you're feeling that for a reason. And when we shame ourselves or guilt ourselves for feeling that way at all, and being really judgmental for ourselves at all, you are your number one ally, or you are your number one enemy. And right now, it is looking like you are enemy number one. You are shaming yourself. You are guilting yourself for feeling. How can you get through these emotions and feel safe if you don't even feel safe in your own mind? If you do not cut yourself some slack, you know? No one else knows what's going on in your mind, so you might as well be nice to yourself in your mind, you know? There's not a need here to constantly beat yourself up, or to shame yourself, or to be mad at yourself. Like, we have confidence here, and like, this cat is imagining themselves in like a Little Mermaid tail and little bralette, and for some reason this cat is giving male cat to me. Don't shame yourself for your feminine side if you're a male. And if you're a female, don't shame yourself for your masculine side. Don't shame yourself for whatever your urges are that you have, for whatever it is that you really like, that you really want to do with your life. Like, don't put yourself down. You can be your number one best friend. You can be your number one best lover. You can be you're the only person that you have in life. You know that? Like, when you die, people don't go with you usually, you know, unless there's some kind of mass, you know, we're not going to go there, but like, people do not usually go with you. It is you. This is your journey. This is your life. Do you want to spend your whole life constantly fighting against yourself and judging yourself and being mean to yourself like everybody else? You've internalized a lot of the voices around you, a lot of the judgments around you, but those do not hold weight if you decide they don't. You are the one that has the power, and you are the one who can choose to give it away. Where are these voices coming from? Are they really you, or are they people who have made you feel bad for things that are normal for you? Maybe it's weird for all of society. Maybe you were raised thinking that's wrong, or that's gay, or that's shameful, or maybe it's not accepted in society yet. You know, maybe you felt wrong for being the race you are. Maybe you feel wrong for your sexuality. Maybe you feel wrong for what it is you truly want to do, even if it's something as simple as being an artist. Like, to me, that's not a big deal. To some people, that's a huge deal, especially if your family was like, no, you have to be a doctor, or like, you have to go to law school or something like that. And if you don't, you're a failure and we don't love you. Like, if you don't support us, if you're not a protector, if you're not a provider, maybe you want to be a princess. Maybe you don't want to protect and provide. Maybe you want to be the one that's taken care of, and that's not bad. Do not shame yourself for that. But you have to be honest with yourself, and you need to be honest with other people, or you're going to keep attracting people that mirror what you wish you could be and wish you could have. But you don't. Some people will mirror this positively, some will mirror it very negatively and show you the parts of yourself that you hate. The parts of them you don't like, that you hate. You don't have it within yourself, or you do and you don't like that you do. Be really honest with you. Look at where you are mirroring. Where are you projecting onto the people and the relationships that you have in your life? Even in your own idealized version of yourself, look at the gap between that and where you are now. How do you expect to get there if you are constantly putting yourself down for not being that? Do you think the future version of you would do that? No, they'd be like, well, you're on your way there and that's a part of the journey, so just keep going, because like, you have to go through that to get here. You have to go through periods of insecurity to get to a period of confidence, because at some point you have to get fed up with it. At some point, when you're faking it, you're being fake, you're just trying to be what everyone wants you to be, you're trying to be a people pleaser, at some point you get fed up of that, and that's when you turn into your confident self, who walks and struts around and feels good in their own skin and is popular and is successful and is loved by everybody. You know why? Because they love themselves and they don't give a fuck what other people think. How do you get there? Well, you stop being comfortable with what you've known your whole life. Just because this stuff is comfortable or it's what you know does not mean that it's right for you. A lot of people will be very comfortable in their misery. Some people want you to stay there because they're comfortable in their misery. Even if it means you're suffering and you feel like shit with them, they'd rather you be there with them, so they're not going through it by themselves. And that's for you too. You may be keeping yourself in miserable places, miserable jobs, around miserable people, around things that you don't really want, and not being honest with yourself because it means that you would have to change, and that is too much for you to handle right now. But it's not really. It's your choice if it's too much to handle or not right now. You can make a change at any point in your life. People don't change, but that is such fucking horseshit that I've ever seen. You decide when you change. Now, can you control other people and make them change? No. Why would you want to? Let them be them. Let them theory. Like, just let them do them. It has no reflection on you or whether you're worthy or lovable enough, if people want you or if they stay with you or if they talk to you or not. It doesn't matter, okay? What matters is how you feel about yourself. You have to be your number one fan. You have to be your cheerleader. You have to be your supporter, and you have to love you. Well, I just want other people to love me. How can you expect other people to love you when you cannot even love yourself? How can you love other people properly when you don't love yourself? You can't. You're given from an empty cup. You're going to be so overcompensating, you're going to be people pleasing, you're going to be just draining yourself dry, running yourself thin, and sometimes not even giving properly because you cannot, from the space of being empty and drained and depressed and feeling like shit. You can't even show up genuinely. You can't even enjoy your life with that person or with other people or friends or whatever this is in jobs. if you do not love yourself and accept yourself. You got to stop judging yourself based off of this scale of what other people want. What do you want? What do you say? Stop asking, do they like me? Do they love me? Do they want to be with me? Who gives a fuck? Do you want them? Do you want to be with them? Do you want this job? Do you want to be in their life? Are they acting in a way that is what you want? Are they compatible with you? Have you even asked yourself that? Or are you so worried with if they'll like you or not? You got an insecurity issue. There is a leak here. There is a leak here. And why are you attracted to this? The alluring smell. We are attracted to our subconscious fears and wounds, and the lesson will repeat until the lesson is learned. The lesson will repeat until the lesson is learned. The lesson will repeat until the lesson is learned. Okay? It will come through different people. It will come through different situations, but it will repeat. It will repeat. It will repeat until you learn it, until you stop it, until you decide to stop the cycle, until you decide to break it and snap it. And the cycle is not external. It shows into the world, but it is always within you. It is always an inside job. When you change on the inside, you change who you are. You change what you allow. You change how you treat yourself. You love yourself. You start setting boundaries and enforcing them, not to punish other people, but because you love yourself and you value your peace more than making other people comfortable. That change within you will reflect externally. People will be drawn to you, the right kinds of people. You'll notice that you'll start attracting things that are different, better situations, better luck. Life will get better and will get easier because you have decided to change within. When you change within, your world changes externally. And that's with everything. When you start feeling more gratitude and more abundance in your life and with how you feel about yourself, and feeling love for yourself, guess what? You manifest an abundance of love, of money, of resources. When you feel safe and secure within yourself, same thing. It's important. We have the crow here with the grudge holder. This crow is legitimately flying out of the sky, like falling out of the sky, just took this hat from this person. If you are still holding on to things from this person, picture if this is a relationship situation, or you're leaving and you're not letting it go, get rid of the stuff. Get rid of the physical stuff and get rid of the talk. Stop reminding yourself of all the good times with this person when it wasn't all good. Honestly, not a whole lot of it was good, and not a whole lot of it is what you want. Get clear on what you want. This is not what you want. It doesn't align with what you want. Oh, they're so sweet. They're so nice to me, but I want kids and they don't. Then they are not what you want. Let that person live their dream and go for their life and have what they want. You deserve to have what you want. Someone that wants kids with all those nice qualities. But if that's the only thing that's wrong, is it really? Because it doesn't feel like it here. It feels like there's a lot of other things wrong with this person or this situation that you're not being real with. Write down a list. Write down a list, and this is not to throw shade at them. How did they handle you? How did they handle the relationship that you didn't like? You know? How did you handle yourself in the relationship? What were the things you liked and that you didn't like that you did? Where are those things coming from? This is a time to analyze yourself, and you can analyze others' behavior, but it's not about holding a grudge against them. It is about addressing where those things are coming from within you, okay? With this is something that you're going to have to let go of. It's not something that you want to use to fuel you forward. This is something that will stay with you a long time if you hold on to it. Do you want to curse yourself like that? Is that really the reason you want for going after the things you want in your life? Is because you had a bad situation or a bad relationship or a bad job, or you didn't know who you were, so you just want to fuel, or you weren't happy with who you were because you don't accept yourself because you're judging yourself by societal standards? And that's what's going to fuel you towards what you want. Is that really going to fuel you in the right direction towards what you want? Or is it going to end up being more of the same, oh, it's not really what I want. It's actually just another situation showing me the same thing because I'm still not being honest to myself, and I'm still being judgmental to myself, and I'm still trying to do what other people think that I should have, or what my parents want for me, or what society wants for me. And the car, the house, the getting things to prove this person wrong, winning things to prove this person wrong, that you'll finally be worthy and good enough. That person's not even playing the game that you're playing. You're playing it with yourself, and you're trying to prove to yourself that you are worthy. And then if they'll just love you, then you'll be worthy. But that's never true, is it? It's never true. And it never happens. No one can love you truly if you cannot truly be your genuine self. All of it, all of what that means. And you can't be your true genuine self if you haven't even accepted yourself or loved yourself in that way. Should you stay or should you go now? You should go now. Because it's not the place for you, even if it's lonely, even if it sucks at times. Of course you want human connection. Of course you crave closeness and stability and love. But if you are not willing to wait for the right kind for you, that is a disrespect to yourself and to your dreams. Taking something in the meantime just because it kind of takes the pain away of you hating yourself and not really loving yourself, not the way to go. And it's never going to feel good, and you're never going to get towards what you actually want. You will just attract more of what you don't want, because you can't get what you do want when you're manifesting from a place of living in what you don't want. And you got to change what's going on inside, and that internal track of how you talk to yourself. You got to be conscious of it. You got to heal that stuff. You got to give yourself that unconditional love that you're hoping for from other people, whether you're seeking it from others because you didn't get it from your parents. Don't know. Got that unconditional love. You're seeking it through partners. Oh, there's a hidden card under this I didn't see. Bounce. And then we have healing. It's time to jump on that healing. It's time to get a move on it. It's time to get towards the life that you want to create here. We also have some other cards over here that I'm going to pull out. We have the confidence one that we had earlier. We have accidents happen. Sometimes things don't work out. And it doesn't have to mean that it's because of you, or it's your fault, or you're a bad person. You're not. You're not. Oftentimes, we will internalize what we think other people think of us. But it's really what we think of ourselves and what we need to heal right there, because oftentimes those people won't even say anything. But you have to love yourself. You do. No one is inherently bad on the inside. They're not. They're hurt. They're hurting. They're not feeling good. And this is not an excuse for you to have so much empathy for them that you excuse how they're treating you. That's not okay. You're not meant to suffer just because they went through something. And if you love them enough, then they'll recognize that you're lovable and wonderful and amazing. And, oh, they're only treating you bad because they went through this, and this. No, that's their shit to deal with. You do not have to deal with that, and you should not put up with abuse from anyone, okay? We have attunement here. It's time for you to get in tune with who you are, with where you want to go, with who you want to be in this world. You get to choose. This is the only life that you have right now, unless you believe in reincarnation. But why would you not want to do this life the best that you can? You chose to be in this body for a reason. You chose to be this person for a reason. You chose to have these life circumstances for a reason. And even if you don't believe that you chose to have all of this, why would I choose this shit to happen to me? Why would I choose to have such a horrible life? Why would I choose to have people abuse me? Okay, let's say you didn't choose that. What are you choosing now? Are you going to choose to keep being in that situation? Are you going to choose to not love yourself because those people didn't love you and treated you like shit? Or are you going to choose to change your life and change how you treat yourself? Take away all that internalized hatred that they spewed onto you. You are speaking to yourself with their voices of how they treated you, how they talked to you, the actions that they did to you that were abusive. Stop doing that. You don't have to be your abuser. You don't have to be. And you are, if you are talking to yourself negatively, if you are judging yourself, if you are giving yourself disrespect, if you cannot be committed to your own peace and your own self-love, you are disrespecting yourself and you are being disloyal to yourself. You have to commit to you. It is important each and every day. How are you showing up for yourself? Are you loving yourself with your hygiene habits? Are you loving yourself with sitting with your emotions and letting them out so your body can process them and not hold on to them and turn them into an autoimmune disorder or cancer when you're older? There's literally correlations in that in science, by the way. Or read My Body Keeps the Score. Or are you doing things for yourself that are nice, like having fun, doing something that you love each day? Or are you just being miserable, scrolling on your phone, hoping for some kind of dopamine hit? Are you educating yourself? Are you catering to your knowledge? What is it that you are doing to get towards your goals? Are you committed towards those? Are you committed to healing yourself? Oh yeah, you are. But yet you dwell on this relationship and this grudge every single day, even though it makes you feel like shit. It's okay to let those emotions out, but once you let those emotions out, do you just keep on dwelling on how they're such a piece of shit person and horrible, or how you're such a piece of shit person and you're horrible? Is that what we're dwelling on? When do we let that go? That's not being very committed to your healing, now is it? Or your self-love, now is it? No, you're beating yourself up. That's not good. That's not good. We gotta stop with the Knight of Pentacles here. Let's get some healthy habits going on. Okay? Even if all you can muster, maybe you don't even feel like showering. Maybe you don't even want to get out of bed. Maybe you even quit your job. Who gives a fuck, you know? Maybe all you can do is get up, go to the bathroom. That's all you're really capable of. Wash your hands. There you go. It's an act of hygiene and self-love. And maybe when you wash your hands, the next day, you decide, you know what? I'm going to brush my teeth. And you know what? Maybe I'll floss the next day. You know, add on a little bit. Not too much to where you can't handle it, but start with what you can handle. You know, I know sometimes rock bottom can really be rock fucking bottom, you know. Some of you are over here like, okay, well, I'm not having that much of a problem, you know. You know, maybe it's reading a book for yourself. Maybe it's giving yourself some alone time to think and journal, you know. But some people really are at that stage. I know I've been there. There are some times where it's like, I can't even eat because I'm so upset, you know, not right now, but like there's been times in my life where I've done that, or where I was so hard on myself, I developed an eating disorder and I was binge eating, like really, really badly, like binging and restricting. I'm talking about probably, I would spend like $3,000. I'm not even kidding, like $3,000 worth of food, like in a few months, because I was just eating so much. I think I was eating like $300 worth of groceries, and this was when groceries were cheap. It was a long time ago. It was like 2016. Like, and not that they aren't okay now, but like they were a lot cheaper back then. Like, I was eating. I was eating probably like what a group of frat boys would eat within a week. Like, it was insane. Like, I ate so many. I probably ate 40,000 calories a day. I gained an incredible amount of weight in a very short period of time. I could not handle not eating. That was my way to deal with my emotions and my depression at that time. And I stopped beating myself up over it. And guess when it got better? When I stopped trying to do the restriction, when I stopped like worrying so much about the binge and just let myself do it and chill, there we go. Or I stopped trying to restrict myself so much. And then I was like, you know what? Just eat whatever you want, you know, but just do a little bit less. And I wasn't that restrictive, and it was fine. And then it started to taper off. And once I allowed myself to deal with my emotions, it started to taper off because I was using it as an emotional eating to it was just a natural consequence of me pushing my emotions down at that time. It was my only way to deal with them or to numb the emotions in the giant hole within my soul. I'm not even kidding. It literally felt like a fucking void in my heart, chest, stomach area, and I was literally trying to fill it with food. Just do what you can and don't beat yourself up. You got to be your best friend. You know what? And you may hate yourself for treating yourself like that. Don't do that. That's still you. You may be mad at yourself for treating yourself bad or gaining weight or losing too much weight or something like that. You got to let it be. It's okay. It's okay that we're there. We got to accept where we're at and we're going to work with it from here. But let's work on being kind to ourselves in our head. Okay? Whatever it is, whatever your vice is, maybe it's smoking, maybe it's pornography, maybe it's drinking, in excess of those things, you know, those things, if you want to do those in moderation in your life, that's your thing. But it's disrespectful to your body in large amounts, you know, and honestly in small amounts for some of those things. Like, maybe that's something you're really guilting yourself or shaming yourself for. Give yourself some ease. Give yourself some peace at this time, okay? Be real with yourself. Accept where you're at. But change does not come from guilt and shame. Not long-lasting, not healthy change. And neither does healing. Give yourself some love. Give yourself some grace, okay? And give yourself some space. I love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. I hope this reading was insightful and intuitive and helps you to get to the core of what's going on right now. I love you, and I'm wishing you the best. Ta-ta.